Good day, everybody. Welcome to Britpops React. You're with me, VV1, VV2 over here. So stuck up. We are so stuck up over this channel. Welcome to us. I don't know where I'm going with this one, mate. Beethoven Symphony.
All right. I had no idea either.
Number 5.
Oh, the fifth one. Yeah. Fifth one. I preferred the fourth one.
I preferred 2.5, but
yeah.
This is Orchestra X performing Beethoven Symphony number 5 with PNWGardenGirl conducting.
Right.
It could just be Peter Jacob and a spell type at the end.
Okay.
But
Jacob?
Yeah, again, Beethoven, one of those things where never go off, never have gone off and listened to classical music in that sense. But when it's on, I mean, it's quite a soothing genre, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say if it's on in the background, it's kind of something, but to go out and sort of physically look for it or put it on myself, never. I mean, my parents used to play it quite a lot around the house, but it's sort of, you know, when you're young, it just grates, doesn't it? Like,
oh yeah, when you're young, you just do not want that. All right.
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, let's tell you why we're doing this. Thomas R popped over, Buymeacoffee.com, and said, guys, check these out. So Orchestra X, we have got no idea, and classical music is not our forte, so we will give our honest opinion about it at the end. And that's what this Orchestra X were doing. They rolled out a program in 2016 to sort of go out there and you know, have a conversation with sort of millennials and Gen Z people and say, you know, why are you not coming to watch these concerts? You know, they've obviously, younger generation, got disposable income, so they went out, created this sort of program, Orchestra X, to put on shows, places, invite people along, and then give their feedback to it as to what they could, you know, what orchestras and people could do
to get people involved.
Yeah, turn people's opinion around. So let's see if they can turn our opinion around. There you go.
Okay, let's get into it then.
Beethoven's number 5.
Oh!
Okay. And they're off with a 4-note theme. I don't know whether it's slow or fast because it keeps stopping, folks. Doesn't seem to be able to get off the ground. But it does look like we're coming up to a cadence here. No, the violins didn't cut off. They weren't watching. They weren't called for holding. There's that 4-note theme again and another stop. Just cannot seem to get this off the ground. Tell me, Giff, do you think you would call that 4-note idea a theme or a motif?
Well, Pete, the technical term would be a motif that he uses to build a theme.
Thanks for setting me straight on that, Giff. Okay, we're heading into the second theme section here. We can be looking for a little modulation out on the field. Wow, did you hear that, Giff? Somebody in that horn section really flubbed that note. That has got to be one of the worst fumbles I've ever witnessed in all my days. I think that was Bobby Corno, wasn't it, Giff?
Yes, it was, Pete.
Well, we're going to be having an instant replay on that.
Instant replay.
We're turning it more into sort of NFL.
NFL, yeah. Oh, he's doing a replay. He's doing it slow.
Okay, that is no doubt. To me, there's no doubt about that. The referee has ruled in favor of the conductor. He has slapped a 30-bar penalty on the defending horn player, who is now on his way over to the penalty box.
That is Bobby Corno in the first chair. And that's the third major flub he's made this season, giving him a solo average for the season of approximately .247233, Pete, which is pretty darn low for a first chair person.
You think there's some chance he may be traded to another orchestra?
Well, Pete, it's hard to say. Corno was very good in the long solos, things like the Rachmaninoff piano concerto, so I think if he pulls himself together a bit, they'll keep him around. Although I suppose that...
Okay, we're off again now, Giff. The orchestra is playing without its first horn, which means we can be looking for a power play from the conductor pretty soon. But that's a pretty stiff penalty, isn't it, Giff? 30 bars?
Yes, it is, Pete. Although these bars go by pretty fast, it isn't really that much in terms of time. I think the longest that anyone has ever stayed in the penalty box was when George Zell played the Philadelphia Orchestra in 1955, and the entire French horn section spent the whole last movement in the penalty box. Of course, in spite of that, the Phillies came out on top.
That's right. I tell you what, Giff, I think we're getting into development section here. Let's see what happens after the double bar.
Okay.
Well, the horns are starting things off, and they seem to be in pretty good shape now. And I get the feeling we're going to be hearing a lot of that four-note motif, don't you, Giff?
Yes, I do, Pete.
So do I, Giff. Well, they're probably stuck with that now for quite a while. So I think what we ought to do is take a little break for station identification.
Take a break.
This is WTWP, wall-to-wall Pachelbel, Hooper.
Oh, look, they're not playing.
Okay, we're back now, folks. And there's something going on out there. It's really building up tension. The brass is coming in and timpani, and I think we're building up to a fugue. No, it is not a fugue, folks. The violins tried to make it one, but the basses just are not following up. Now, instead of a fugue, they seem to be taking that theme and breaking it up into little pieces. Just two notes left of that theme. It's getting softer and softer down there. I think they're running out of steam, if you want to know the truth. It's getting just a little bit lethargic. Only one note left of that theme now, being tossed around from player to player. Wait a minute. Here come the brasses, trying to pep things up, a welcome relief, but I'm afraid to no avail. Things are still pretty soft. Wait, here they come again, though. They sound very determined. And I do believe we've reached the recap, don't you, Gav?
Well, there's no doubt about it, Pete. Your average Beethoven symphony usually has a recap after the second quarter, and this one is falling right in line.
Well, let's see if those violins can cut off with the rest of the orchestra here. Wait, this time it's the oboe holding the note.
Oboe.
Well, she's playing a cadenza. She must be out of her mind. She thinks it's an oboe concerto. The conductor is protesting there. I've never heard anything like that. Have you, Giff?
I certainly haven't. I think it was a disgraceful display of lack of teammanship. And I wouldn't be that surprised if I was attacking Jacoby. You believe it?
The referee has had to separate them. I'm telling you, you don't want to mess with her.
Don't mess with her.
You know, I think we're going to have a ruling now on that. How about that? He has ruled in favor of the orchestra. I guess that cadenza must have been written in the part after all. And there's a delay of game penalty, a 34-bar penalty against Jacoby, who is now over in the penalty box himself. And he'll be lucky to get back in time for the second theme. Well, I guess Highwood knew what she was doing, Giff.
She usually does, Pete, and this time she not only scored a personal solo, but she also made it possible for the orchestra to recover from Bobby Corno's fumble there in the exposition.
That was a bad one, too.
That was
I think we're ready to resume play now. The referee has given the captain of the orchestra the sign. And okay, they're off. They're off again. They're doing pretty well.
Okay.
I think they're really making up for lost time. Anyway, we're into the home stretch here, folks. We've got the second theme coming up, and we should be in C minor right up to the last double bar.
Oh, back out.
Jacoby is back on the mound.
Back on the mound.
Hey, this is really something, Giff. You know, this piece is billed as being in C minor, and yet it looks like it's going to end in C major.
It's really something, Pete.
It is really something, Giff. And I think it's going to be... wait a minute. I think we have an injury in the bass section. The referee has blown the whistle, and the referee's blown the whistle is what he's done.
Well, it looks like it's a groin injury, Pete.
A groin injury.
That's what happens when the bases get too close together.
He's on his way out.
You know, management is always trying to save space, especially in the bass section, which usually contains some of the biggest players in the club. And sometimes they just squeeze them just a little bit too close together.
That's what happens, right?
And this is the result. Now that's quad contraband.
I'll tell you what, we've got a
electric
substitution
guitar.
here.
He looked like he
We've
was in
got
pretty
a
bad shape.
substitution. He looks like he's
Where did he go?
league, if you ask me.
I think you're right.
The referee's putting him into position there.
Okay, got it. Run it.
Oh. So listen to that. I think this is going to be a whole new ball game, Giff. Okay, they're getting ready to resume play now.
Look at the other bassists looking at him.
And we're off. The orchestra only has a few more bars to go for a first downbeat. Things are really beginning to roll here. They've added all the woodwinds. They've thrown in the brass and the timpani. And it's Tundiel all the way, folks. They've got a great drive going on out there. It looks like we're coming into the home stretch, eh, Giff?
Well, Pete, it's been a good match.
It's been a very good match indeed. Wait a minute. The brasses are taking the theme. They are not letting it stop. Giff, this piece is definitely going to go into overtime. I can tell that. And let me tell you that nobody knows where this theme is. There's a lot of running around down there, but nobody knows what the theme is. Believe me, folks, it's very exciting.
It's a Mexican way.
Okay, the crowd is going wild. They've got a new theme going on out there. I can't believe it, Giff. Do you know where this new theme comes from?
Well, Pete, it probably comes from, I don't know.
Thanks a lot, Giff. You're big help. Well, they're tossing it around now. The woodwinds have it, and then the strings. Nobody seems to be able to keep his or her hands on that theme. Believe me, folks, the people in the stands are just as confused as the players. Wait a minute now. The strings have got a hold of things. The strings have got a hold, and they're not going to let go. What's this? It sounds like another recap. It sounds like they're going right back to the beginning. If this is true, it's the first time in 40 years of concert casting. Wait a minute. Those do sound like final chords, though. We are watching the referee, and that is it. That is the end of the match.
Beautiful.
Whoa. Okay, what a match, huh?
Unbelievable.
That was one shot of adrenaline.
Interesting concept.
Yeah.
Interesting concept, that.
A delay of...
I can't work out. I mean, I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
And I can see how it can engage people. I think the two commentators maybe were just giving it a little bit too much.
Yeah, because then
Probably
it detracted from the music a bit then, didn't
It
it?
detracted from the music, which actually, I forget, you know, the Symphony number 5, how good it is. You know, I mean, it's such a classic, isn't it?
It is. I mean, it's one that we all sort of know, and it's popped up in numerous things, adverts, movies, etc., etc. And I mean, it's, you know, as with anything, it's great to see an orchestra playing live, and you forget how the great sound and, you know, where all those different
amazing
voices are coming from. You know, I'd say, you know, the string section, the brass section, the bass section, and so on and so forth. I like it, you know, and it's great. I mean, obviously, you yourself know Oasis. He puts a lot of strings and stuff in his stuff. Metallica, they've done some massive stuff with, you know, Nothing Else Matters with the orchestra. So when, you know, new and old fuse together, that's when it really sort of comes alive, isn't it? You know, even when the electric bass came in there, you could instantly tell it was a different sound to just pure wood instruments as well. So there is a place for it, not a problem. Say that would probably, if they did that for one tune, it's a bit of a laugh, okay. But as I say, I think the commentary eventually became a bit too much, didn't it? You know, once you got the concept of it.
But the injury going in the sim bin, that type of thing, it's funny and it does engage people throughout the There's just probably too much commentary, but
yeah,
we won't score it because it's more comedy.
No, we do a thumbs up and a
thumbs up,
you know,
to say
and a shout out to
clever.
sort of orchestras and classical music.
Yeah,
I mean there are some that, you know, William Tell overture, all that kind of. There are ones that are stuck in your brain that you kind of, you know, as soon as you hear them, you go, oh yes, but probably still wouldn't, you know, just get out of my way.
yeah. All right, well, there you go. You heard it here. Let us know in the comments. Is that the sort of thing you went to, or you've been to,
Yes.
sorry? Or you just stick with the music? I mean, either or, but
Yeah.
I get it. They, you know, based on feedback and getting the Gen Z involved. So
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, definitely.
we'll be back tomorrow for another reaction. Until then, it's goodbye from me.
Goodbye from him. Thank you very much, and cheerio.
Cheers, Thomas. Bye.
Bye.